everybody tuning in on Facebook Live. This is happening every day at this time. What a wonderful way to nourish us in community. Hello to Katie, rockin' the tech. Hello to Joe, somewhere listening on Facebook Live. Hello to Evie Ladin, our guest. Hello to Carolyn in Boise. Hello to Susan and Becky in BC. Hello to Kathleen in Albuquerque. Jaden Brick and Mabel Lang. Well, hello to Annette Piron. It's great to see you, Arlene in Berkeley, and Trish in Victoria and Delhi. Hello to Brian McLaughlin and Jenny in Suffolk, UK. Hello to Kate, Julie, and Sue. Hello to Dawn and all those gorgeous curly tops. Hello to Deborah in Kentucky. Hello, Kate, Cricket, and Kathy in Virginia. Oh, it's great to see you, Dawn Walker, Lisa and Bonnie and Capricorn 39. Hello to Gary Pausner and Nancy and our mentor and friend Dennis. Hello to Karen and Christiana and Bob. Hello to Ruth in Birmingham. Hello Anne and Luda with your heart. Hello to Ralph and Penny. Good morning or afternoon. Actually, it's morning in Victoria, like it is for us, because that's where we are too. Hello to Jim in New York City and Caroline in DC. And now I have to get reoriented, because I changed screens and everything's mixed up. Ah, here I am. Hello to Amanda and Miles, Storm, Fred, and Jamie Dundas. Good morning or afternoon to Anne and Sarah and Kat Cox. It was so great to see you yesterday on the Daily. Where were we? We were on, yes, High Noon Choir. Hello, Kevin. My heart goes out to you. Hello, Busy Graham, Barb, and Hoda in BC. Hello, Susan, Louise, and Aloysius. Hello, Nona and Kristen. Hello, everyone else off camera. Can I see your names? Yes, I can. Hello, Lorianne and Bob, who is biking. Hello, Kate and Jane. Oh, I missed LMG. Lynn, give our love to Darla. Hello, Susan and Jane. Hello, Rob and Corrine. Ah, and Kath in UK. I think that's all. We're so glad you are all here in this beautiful, colorful, wonderful room of singing community. We are Kathy Baker and Dick Jackson. We're connected with the Ubuntu Choirs Network. We're leaders of the Gettin' Higher Choir, and several of you in this room have collaborated with us this time round with Higher Waves Choir Online. Yay. And it's wonderful to be celebrating all these wonderful things with you. And a special welcome to Evie Ladin. I'm going to go back to that other screen.
Right.
Yes. Tell us about that song. If you probably recognize it, I didn't name it at the beginning.
You're right.
What we were singing
Well, that was Bread and Roses. The song was originally written in the poem in 1911, I believe. Music, there was an original, very marchy sort of protest song of the 1920s style written. But it was rediscovered in 1974. Mimi Farina, who's the younger sister of Joan Baez, wrote that melody and the chords for that. So we thought we'd bring that for Women's History Month here on the Daily Antidote of Song.
And let's open it over to Evie Ladin. We just met about not that long ago this morning. And we're saying that, gosh, given what we did Google around and learn a little bit about you, and you'd think we were in a foreign country, that we somehow hadn't heard of you before. And as it happens, we are north of the border in Canada, and it's lovely to meet you, and we're really excited about hearing the music you'll be sharing with us this morning, celebrating Women's History. So, over to you, Evie.
What can you
All
tell
right, thanks for having me. At least we're in the same time zone.
Yeah.
Singing first thing in the morning is always a good time. Well, I don't know if this is my third or fourth time doing Daily Antidote of Song. Always happy to be here and share a song with everybody. I'm in Oakland, California, and growing up as a banjo player and in part in Maryland, a big fan of Ola Belle Reed. Are you all familiar with Ola Belle Reed? And some of you are. And her banjo music, if you're not familiar with her, some of her songs have become hits, like High on a Mountain, and the song that seemed especially appropriate today, I've Endured.
Mm.
So I've endured is I think a theme for the last couple of years, if not your whole life. And that's what she wrote about. Anyone familiar with this song already?
Not yet.
Looking forward to it.
Should I just go ahead and sing the basic idea? There's not really a chorus, but it has the same melody throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll catch on. Unless there's any, is there any part that would be appropriate to try out, call and response, or is there enough of it that we'll catch on over time? I'm not familiar with it.
Maybe I'll go line by line.
Okay.
So, and it starts with what's so nice about it, the chord progression just like really gives it a really deep feeling. And one of the things I love about 1-4-5, so many combinations, so many different feels. So I don't know if anyone wants to play along too, but anyway, so the song goes, born in the mountains many years ago. Let's try that. Born in the mountains many years ago. Then climb these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. Try that. Climb these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flashing, heard the thunder roll. That line. Seen the lightning flashing, heard the thunder roll. And our killer line. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured. How long must one endure? I'm getting choked up. This really gets to me, singing with everybody and having this sentiment going on. So, should I just go ahead and sing it down?
Yeah, it sounds
let's
great,
do it.
Evie. Take it
And
away.
some of you have percussion instruments, and if you're playing along, there's just a lot of back and forth with that 4 chord. I had sent the sheet with the chords, but I guess it doesn't make it into the chat. So there's just a lot of back and forth with that 4 chord. I'm in the key of G. Here we go. Born in the mountains many years ago. Climb these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flashing, heard the thunder roll. I've endured. How long must one endure? Let's repeat that last line. I've endured. How long must one endure? Next verse, barefoot. Barefoot in the summer, on into the fall. Too many mouths to feed, they could not clothe us all. We went to church on Sunday, we learned the golden rule. I've endured. How long must one endure? Let's repeat that again. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've worked for the rich. 1, 2, 3. many heartaches, and I'll see many more. I've lived, loved, and sorrowed, been through success's door. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured. How long must one endure? It's the first verse again. Born in the mountains many years ago, climbed these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flashing, I've heard the thunder roll. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured. How long must one endure?
Oh, wow.
All right.
Thank you, Evie. Gosh. Just thinking of endurance and just thinking of, like, the instrument you're playing and its history and the history of endurance that is represented in that. I don't know, can you say a little bit about that, or the
resilience of Black people throughout the world.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. What's there to? Yeah.
I mean, it's been a time, and I am grateful. I grew up playing the banjo and was really struck by the West African influence as a teenager, and ended up studying everything I could about Africa when I was in college. And my first time out of the country was in Nigeria, mostly studying dance, but the music, the syncopations, the scales, the harmonies, everything that comes through this instrument, and even just the expression of this song I've endured, and the pain that's brought through all of this folk music. It's been really gratifying, for lack of a better word, to with the Black Lives Matter movement, to have so many more people of color coming back to folk music and to the banjo and reclaiming it, and constantly speaking up for the role of African Americans and really African diaspora everywhere, and its influence in so much music and dance traditions throughout North and South America. So there was recently a photo published about African diaspora influence throughout North and South America, but they didn't include Appalachian, country, and string bands. And someone on the thread, this was in Decolonizing the Music Room Facebook conversation, someone said, "Isn't country music part of the European diaspora?" And in fact it is, but it wouldn't be anything that it was without, unfortunately, all of that pain and suffering that comes through the music, and without the African influence. So it's something that's always been a part of the educational aspect of what I do on the banjo and through my entire career. And I know it's influenced Ola Belle Reed and her trajectory with playing the banjo and writing a lot of these songs. And many of them are minor and have that really dark, soulful feeling. She was a white woman, but it's Women's History Month, and women have also, just as a general category, endured a lot. And the last thing I want to say about that is just being surprised, raised a feminist by, second wave feminist, and as I get older, how much those same tropes really figure into how you're viewed in society and how you're sort of able to exist in the world without plucking your eyebrows or painting your nails or any of those things. So I really give a lot of credit to these kinds of spaces and to the folk music community that embraces everyone as much as they can and celebrates culture and diversity, and also continues to sing about the struggle for equality and to sing. Just to sing, because it's what people do and it's what we need. And honestly, starting my day like this is a blessing.
No kidding.
Lovely. Can you tell us what are you up to these days? Any projects?
I am about to take off on my first tour in a long time. taking my band around the Sierra Mountains. So if you're in California anywhere, we're going up over the mountains and down through Bishop and up through Southern California and doing live shows for real human beings. And
Wow.
the energy that I miss from having people in the same room it's really palpable. It's like missing a limb, and I don't take that lightly. I love being able to share this space online, and that we can do that during this time, but without having real people in 3 dimensions and the cellular energy of sharing that and singing, I'm sure we all really miss that. And it's deep. It's really deep. And Square Dance Calling is one of the tools in my toolbox, and it's going to be one of the
Wow.
last things to come back to dance with sweaty strangers. And
Yeah.
I really look forward to when we can safely do all of that.
Yeah. Do you ever make it up across the border? Have you toured in Canada before, or is there how if we wanted to, how could we entice you here?
Oh, absolutely. I have played in Victoria with,
Oh.
I'm forgetting it, at the ice rink upstairs at that jazz club.
Oh
That
yeah,
is,
Okay, at the Oak Bay
Rec Center.
yeah,
the Oak Bay
that's
Rec
the name
Center.
of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Upstairs lounge.
and have been grateful to be over there and up in BC. But I'm really looking forward to traveling more in the coming year. But absolutely, I come up there. I've done a music educators conference as well, because body music and body percussion is the other side of what I do besides
Yeah.
songwriting and playing the banjo and all of that. Yeah.
Well, when you make it up here, I'd love to, well, yeah, yeah, you're welcome to our home. And just some interesting little points of connection. You mentioned studying or spending time in Nigeria. We happen to have an international student from Nigeria living sharing our house with us this year, which is
Oh,
really, really
wonderful.
cool. And in addition to the 100-year-old piano right beside me, I've got this near on 100-year-old little banjo uke that was my dad's. But I know very little about its where it was before he got it, because he would have got it used sometime in the probably like 40s or 50s.
Wow.
But I could learn a few things from you, I'm sure.
Come do a
Anyway,
banjo workshop.
yeah,
Absolutely.
gosh,
I love this. A lot of people are saying they know my dad and my family, and I'm grateful
yeah.
for my dad fell in love with folk music at a hootenanny Carnegie Hall in 1958, and we've never gone back. My sister and I both play and dance and sing, and my brother-in-law as well is a contra dance musician. So we're spread around the country and hopefully always engaging people in music and dance.
Yeah, there's certainly a contra dance group here in Victoria. There we will set up a whole bunch of gigs for you.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, and just thinking about, the message, just in addition to how women have, all the things that women have endured since the beginning of human history. We can, I think part of the poignancy of that song is, what we as humanity have endured during this pandemic. And, my heart especially goes out to, the moms in Ukraine, the moms of the Russian soldiers, who many of whom don't really understand what they have been drawn into. And the sense of how, may singing lift their spirits some ways, and could, that the message of strength and peace prevail and get through. And can we reprise that song? I think we've got time to do the whole thing. It's just so
Let's do it.
beautiful.
Do you want to throw it in the chat again so it's right up in people's faces? And singing about the hard times is the things that get us through all of it. Here we go. Born in, sorry, one more time. Born in the mountains 20 years ago, oh, many years ago. Climb these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flashing, I've heard the thunder roll. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured. How long must one endure? Barefoot in the summer, on into the fall. Too many mouths to feed, they could not clothe us all. We went to church on Sunday, we learned the golden rule. I've endured. How long must one endure? endure. I've worked for the rich, and I've lived with the poor, and I've seen many heartaches, I've seen many more. I've lived and sorrowed, I've been through success's door. I've endured, I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured, I've endured. How long must one endure? Born in the mountains many years ago, climbed these hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flash and heard the thunder roll. I've endured, I've endured. How long must one endure? I've endured, I've endured. How long must one endure? One more time. I've endured, I've endured. How long must one endure?
Oh, thank you, Evie.
Beautiful.
Thank you all so much for having me. Thanks for everyone for keeping this rolling.
Great to have you. So tomorrow we're going to be back here hosting the Amadons. We'll be doing a song continuing with the Women's History Week this week and next, being Women's History Month. What else do we need to do? I don't think there are any other announcements. If anyone here is brand new, we don't have anyone here to have a wrap-up chat with, so come back tomorrow, and if you want to get signed up for the newsletter and so on. Kathy?
Sure. Well, let's sing everybody out.
We'll say a goodbye to
We'll
Facebook
say
Live.
Goodbye. Yeah, say
Bye, folks.
Goodbye, folks, on Facebook Live. So great to have you with us. And you know that's going to be on there's